The United States military has entered a pivotal chapter in aviation history with the revelation of its next-generation air dominance initiatives, a complex web of advanced technologies and strategic recalibrations that could redefine global power dynamics. Deep within classified facilities and congressional hearing rooms, a high-stakes drama unfolds as engineers race against physics limitations, while policymakers wrestle with trillion-dollar decisions that will shape warfare for decades to come. This is not merely about building better jets. It's a fundamental reimagining of aerial combat in an age of artificial intelligence, hypersonic weapons, and increasingly contested airspace. At the center of this revolution sits the highly classified Next-Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program. Conceived as a sixth-generation fighter meant to surpass the legendary F-22 Raptor, early reports suggest an aircraft that pushes boundaries in every conceivable dimension. A chameleon-like stealth platform coated in radar-absorbent metamaterials that actively adjust to different wavelengths, rendering it virtually invisible across multiple detection spectrums. Its diamond-shaped airframe incorporates fractal edges that scatter electromagnetic energy in unpredictable patterns, while its skin contains millions of microscopic fluidic channels that dynamically alter surface temperatures to confuse infrared tracking system. The propulsion system represents equal parts breakthrough and mystery. A combined-cycle engine capable of transitioning from turbine-powered subsonic flight to scramjet-assisted hypersonic bursts exceeding Mach 6, all while maintaining minimal thermal and acoustic signatures. What truly separates this aircraft from its predecessors lies in its cognitive warfare capabilities. An artificial intelligence co-pilot processes data from distributed sensor networks spanning satellites, drones, and allied aircraft, presenting human operators with real-time kill chain options through direct neural interfaces. Machine learning algorithms predict enemy maneuvers by analyzing historical combat data and current sensor inputs, automatically adjusting countermeasures and weapons targeting. During recent simulations, prototype systems demonstrated the ability to coordinate with drone swarms, designating targets for autonomous wingmen while deploying microwave-based defenses to fry incoming missile guidance systems. However, these technological marvels come at a staggering cost, both financially and logistically. Current projections estimate each NGAD airframe could exceed $350 million, not including the billions required for specialized maintenance facilities and pilot training program. The aircraft's complexity creates vulnerabilities. Its fractal-edged skin requires robotic 3D printers for repairs, while the AI systems demand quantum-resistant encryption to prevent hacking. These challenges recently forced military leaders to implement an unprecedented strategic pause, halting development while reassessing whether concentrating so much capability in single-piloted platforms remains prudent given emerging drone technologies. This reconsideration of air dominance strategy coincides with mounting problems in the F-35 program, once hailed as the pinnacle of fifth-generation warfare. The Lightning II's Technology Refresh 3 (TR3) upgrades have become a $1.6 billion nightmare, plagued by software glitches that cause random system reboots during critical flight phases. Pilots report night vision displays flickering with green static during carrier approaches, while radar systems occasionally lose track of friendly aircraft. More alarmingly, structural limitations prevent sustained supersonic flight. The F-35C variant can only maintain Mach 1.3 for 50 seconds before risking airframe damage, severely limiting its effectiveness in beyond visual range engagements. These technical shortcomings have created political tremors in Washington. Congressional leaders recently slashed F-35 procurement by 20%, redirecting funds toward fixing what one senator called a $2 trillion boondoggle. The Pentagon now faces pressure to break Lockheed Martin's monopoly on software development, with legislative proposals threatening to strip intellectual property rights if progress stalls. Meanwhile, international partners grow restless. Several NATO allies have delayed orders, with Poland recently announcing interest in French Rafale jets as contingency alternatives. Amidst this turbulence, the B-21 Raider Street Stealth bomber has emerged as an unlikely candidate for expanded air superiority roles. Originally designed for nuclear deterrence and deep strike missions, the bat-winged aircraft's open architecture systems and vast payload capacity have strategists reconsidering its potential. Recent wargames simulated B-21S, deploying swarms of AI-powered drones from internal bays, conducting electronic warfare attacks that blinded entire air defense networks, and launching hypersonic missiles from standoff distances. Its ability to penetrate contested airspace undetected makes it particularly valuable against sophisticated adversaries like China, whose overlapping radar networks and satellite surveillance pose challenges for traditional fighters. The bomber's exact capabilities remain shrouded in secrecy, but defense analysts note several revealing details from its rollout ceremony. The lack of visible exhaust nozzles suggests advanced thermal management systems, possibly using liquid cooling to minimize infrared signatures. Its smooth, seamless surface implies radar-absorbent materials applied at the molecular level during manufacturing rather than painted on. Most intriguingly, the Air Force has hinted at the B-21's ability to serve as a flying data center, processing information from hundreds of battlefield sensors and directing other assets via secure mesh networks. While manned platforms dominate headlines, the quiet revolution in autonomous systems may prove more transformative. Collaborative Combat Aircraft (CCA) prototypes like General Atomics' XQ-67A and Kratos' XQ-58 Valkyrie have demonstrated remarkable capabilities during recent trials. During a March 2024 exercise over the Nevada test range, a single F-15EX controlled 6 CCAs that independently identified targets, coordinated attack vectors, and even assessed battle damage, all while maintaining formation through AI-driven predictive flight control. These drones employ biomimetic design principles, their wings flexing like birds of prey to optimize maneuverability, while onboard neural networks process sensor data 200 times faster than human pilots. The economic implications of this shift toward unmanned systems are profound. Where a single NGAD fighter costs more than a nuclear submarine, CCAs could eventually be mass-produced for under $20 million using commercial manufacturing techniques. Their modular design allows rapid reconfiguration. Swapping sensor pods for missile racks takes hours rather than weeks. This adaptability makes them ideal for evolving threats, though it raises concerns about proliferation risks as older models enter the second-hand market. Technical challenges persist, particularly in securing the data links between manned jets and drone swarm. During a 2023 Red Flag exercise, cybersecurity specialists successfully spoofed GPS signals and injected false targets into a CCA formation, causing them to waste munitions on phantom enemies. Solutions being tested include quantum key distribution for unbreakable encryption and blockchain-like verification systems for sensor data. However, these add weight and complexity to lightweight drones already pushing the limits of miniaturized technology. Human factors present another hurdle. Veteran pilots struggle with transitioning from hands-on control to overseeing AI systems, and a shift compared to moving from driving sports cars to conducting orchestras. Training programs now incorporate virtual reality simulations where pilots manage up to a dozen autonomous assets simultaneously, developing new skills in resource allocation and strategic prioritization. The psychological impact remains understudied. Early reports note increased cognitive fatigue from monitoring multiple drone feeds, with some aviators experiencing a sense of detachment from life-or-death decisions made by algorithms. International reactions to these developments have been mixed. China recently unveiled its own sixth-generation fighter concept during the Zhuhai Air Show, featuring plasma stealth technology and AI co-pilots. Russia continues developing the S-70 Okhotnik heavy drone, though sanctions have reportedly caused setbacks in its sensor and propulsion systems. European allies push for their own Future Combat Air System, FCAS, while India accelerates development of the AMCA fighter with Israeli and French technology transfers. This global arms race extends into space-based infrastructure critical for next-gen air warfare. The U.S. Space Force recently deployed a constellation of missile-tracking satellites with hyperspectral sensors capable of detecting stealth aircraft contrails. Meanwhile, China's growing fleet of Yuan-Wang-class tracking ships and quantum communication satellites threatens to erode America's information superiority. Industry experts warn that without secure, resilient space networks, even the most advanced fighters could become flying bricks in contested environments. Ethical debates intensify as autonomous capabilities advance. A 2024 RAND Corporation study revealed that current AI systems can correctly identify military targets 89% of the time under ideal conditions. Impressive until considering the catastrophic consequences of that remaining 11% error rate. The Defense Innovation Board recently proposed binding guidelines requiring human authorization for any kinetic strike initiated by AI. But critics argue this negates the speed advantage of autonomous systems against hypersonic threats. Maintenance infrastructure presents another looming challenge. NGAD's exotic materials require climate-controlled hangars with electromagnetic shielding, while its AI systems need specialized server farms for software updates. The Air Force estimates it will need to retrain 45% of its maintenance personnel by 2030, transitioning from mechanical repairs to managing machine learning models and quantum computing systems. Proposed solutions include augmented reality maintenance guides, projected through smart helmets, and robotic assistants capable of performing delicate sensor calibrations. Financial pressures continue mounting as Congress debates the 2025 defense budget. The NGAD program alone could consume 14% of Air Force procurement funds through 2035, forcing difficult trade-offs between quality and quantity. Analysts warn that fielding fewer than 200 sixth-gen fighters would leave insufficient assets to cover simultaneous conflicts in Asia and Europe. Some propose complementing NGAD with upgraded fourth-gen jets like the F-15EX, using them as missile trucks guided by stealthy forward observers, a concept tested in recent exercises with F-35S designating targets for Eagle II. The human cost of technological complexity manifests in extended training pipeline. NGAD pilots now undergo 18-month curricula covering AI ethics, drone swarm tactics, and cyber warfare fundamentals, triple the training time of F-22 aviators. Retention becomes increasingly difficult as commercial aerospace firms offer triple salaries for personnel with security clearances and quantum computing experience. Environmental concerns add unexpected complications. The Air Force's shift towards synthetic fuel blends for stealth jets has inadvertently increased particulate emissions at high altitudes, potentially accelerating ozone layer depletion. Meanwhile, hypersonic engine tests face legal challenges from environmental groups concerned about atmospheric effects. As prototype sixth-gen fighters prepare for maiden flights in 2025, the ultimate shape of air dominance remains uncertain. Will human pilots remain essential or become system administrators overseeing robotic fleets? Can democracies maintain technological edges against authoritarian states unencumbered by ethical constraints? The answers emerging from secretive test ranges and congressional appropriations committees will determine not just the future of air combat, but the global balance of power in an increasingly unstable world. What becomes clear is that the era of individual fighter aces has given way to a new paradigm, one where victory belongs to those who best integrate artificial intelligence, quantum networks, and human ingenuity into a seamless web of airborne destruction.